We are going to look at these verses and I'm going to think out loud to demonstrate how I would go through figuring out how to understand verses that maybe I hadn't seen before or certainly hadn't tried to translate before. All right, so here I'm on chapter 2, verse 1 of Sefer Bereshit, and I'm coming to the first verse. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am. The first thing that I'm going to do is think to myself, which words do I already know? So I'm going to notice that I already know hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol. So I know sky, land, and all. So I have two other words that I have to figure out. If I'm going to think out loud, the first thing I'm going to do is look to see if any of them have a shoresh that I'm familiar with. And I right away come here to vayechulu. Now I know the vav and the yud in a biblical verb at the beginning are not going to be part of the shoresh. So that leaves me, I've got kaf, lamed. Oh, I'm missing the last letter of the shoresh, but I know that oftentimes when the last letter of the shoresh doesn't show up, that it's hey. Oh, now that I have a shoresh up there, I remember that on my spelling list, there is a shoresh like that I'm learning this week. And it means, what did it mean? Does anyone in class remember what this shoresh meant? Anybody?
Was it a big group?
No?
No, wait. Yeah.
We just got these words yesterday. It's not even just stop, it's complete.
Oh, finish.
Complete or finish. Right.
I remember that.
So I've got now a clue as to what vayechulu means. It's got to do with completing something or something being complete. Now the last word I'm left with is tzva'am. And I have to look and see, is there a shoresh or a word within it that is also familiar to me? And it's a good thing I have my new word list out as I'm doing this, because I haven't really memorized those words yet, but I do see a word in there that's familiar. Eliana, what word do you think it is? Sava. And sava, according to my word sheet, means either an army or a large group. So now let's see if I can start to figure out what this pasuk means. The sky and the land, this must be the verb that goes with that because it's the beginning.
He finished the sky.
Were finished or completed. They've called tzva'am, and all of, now that mem at the end means shilahem, so it's all of their
large groups of land and water.
Oh, what might be all of the, what large group of things might go together with the finishing of the sky and the land? Maybe everything that was created, right? All the large group that went with it. Okay? The animals, the plants, everything, the meorot, everything. So what I have is the sky and the land were completed and everything that went with it. Okay? So now I have my first pasuk and I can move on to the next line. Vayechol Elohim bayom hashvi'i Malachto asher asa. Now last time I started off thinking through, what words do I already know? So I'm going to ask you in the class, looking at this list, what words, who wants to come up and do this verse for me? Eden, come up. Show me how you would think through the beginning of pasuk bet.
Okay.
So use blue to understand, to underline things that you already know. And talk out loud the way I talked out loud to show us your thinking process.
Okay. So I already know the words Elohim, Bayom Hashvi'i, and let's see, what else? Asa,
Okay.
And in Pasuk Aleph, there was the word Vayachulu, which is very similar to Vayachol. So it probably has something to do with the word completes.
Good.
And Milachto has the Shoresh Aleph.
I'm going to stop you there and say, let's not look for a shoresh. Let's look for a whole word that's familiar in there.
Oh, I know. Okay.
It's also, so if you don't know that one, leave that and see if you could figure out everything else there.
Okay.
No, stay on the first line. Let's see what you can figure out from the first from Bet.
So, Vayachol Elohim probably means God completed, and on Yom HaShvi'i is the third day?
Sheva. Hashvi'i.
Right.
Sheva.
On the seventh day, Milachto.
Milachto. Hamilacha shelo. Who can see a word in there that they know? Zahav?
Melech, king.
It's not Melech because Melech doesn't have an aleph in there. Melech doesn't have the aleph in there. So what's the word, Evan?
It's Milacha.
Milacha.
Asher is that.
Okay, so Milacha means what?
Creative work.
Okay, so God finished on the seventh day
His creative work.
His creative work, Asher Asa.
That he did.
That he did. Okay, very good. Very good. God finished on the seventh day the creative work that he did. Very good. At an excellent work. Who would like to come and deal with the next part of the pasuk, the rest of pasuk bet? Vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa. Ariella, would you come do that one for us? You can bring your sheet up with you. Okay. So start off by showing us what it is that you already know here. And think out loud for us. Is everybody paying close attention? If this is hard for you, you need to be paying attention more, not less. Okay.
I know that Shabbat means stop. The Yom HaShvi'i.
Really loud, please.
Yom HaShvi'i, and then we call Malachto from the creative work, and Asher Hasa.
So this one, you really knew all these words already. Now, a couple of them were new this week, so would you clarify which ones those were and what they mean?
The Shabbat means
Vayishbot.
boat has the same shortish as the Shabbat, which was stop.
Good. So he stopped.
And then being Yom HaShvi'i, the seventh day, all Malachto, creative work.
Good.
And then Asher was that, and then also
That he did. So who can now tell me in smooth English? Thank you, Eden. Thank you. In smooth English, what have we translated so far? Make it work in English for me. Okay, Zahav?
Okay, so God completed the earth, the sky and the land. I can't tell you.
V'chol tzva'am. Are you on Aleph or Bet?
Olive, I don't know if that's
Aleph doesn't say God anywhere. It's starting Bet. The sky and the earth were
completed.
and kol tzva'am.
All in a group.
And all of the group of things that went with it, right? Okay.
And then God completed on the seventh day his creative work that he did. And then his Shabbat is stop. He stopped on Shabbat, or Yom the seventh day, his creative work that he did.
Okay, that was excellent. Are there any questions at this point? Yes, Sibab. You're excited and ready to go, aren't you? Okay, you're saying that if you came up here and did the first line of Gimel, you would be underlining every word. They're all familiar to you, right? Okay. So you know what? If you already know all those words, you can come and underline them all.
So Yivarech comes from the shorish Bet Reish Ha,
Good.
which means blessing.
Very nice.
Elohim is God, and at Yom HaShvi'i is on the seventh day. And Vayikadesh Eto, Vayikadesh comes from the shorish Kadesh, which means to make holy. And Eto is
It.
it.
Okay, so now make it into a phrase that makes sense. What did God do?
On the seventh day, God blessed and made it holy.
You're very close. You're very close. It doesn't say by Yom HaShvi'i, which would mean on the seventh day.
God blessed the seventh day and made it holy.
Mitsuyan. Mitsuyan. And let's do the last line here and see if you get it. All right. Kivo shavat mikol malachto asher bara Elohim la'aso. Who hasn't been up to the board yet to do this? Okay. Oh, how am I going to pick? I'm going to give Evan a chance. I know you know it.
Don't worry, I won't be able to do it, Eliana.
I think you can. So first show us what you know.
Because Mikol is like all.
Good.
Melato is like creative work. Bashir, isn't that? Yeah, it's that. Bara has to do with blessing.
No. Look at the last letter of the shoresh. It's not blessing. What's bara?
Create.
Create. Good.
Elohim is God, and Le'aso is like something to do with asa.
You're right. The shoresh is asa. Okay, so shavat we have to figure out.
Yeah.
Do you know that shoresh shavat?
It's on your list.
It is. Oh. Yeah. Stop.
Stop. Okay. So now we're going to see, this is the continuation of the first part because it starts with key. Because. So what's going to be after the word key?
Because he.
It's going to be the reason why God did the thing before, right?
Oh.
Logically speaking, when you go this, and this, because, then afterwards comes the reason for this, and this. So we're got to get the reason why God blessed the day.
Because.
Vo shavat.
Shabbat stop.
Because he stopped.
All the creative work that God created
To do.
to do.
Okay. All right, it's a little redundant in English. Okay. How many of you feel like you understand and could translate? If I gave you a page with these verses on it right now, you could sit down and translate the whole thing.
Most.
How many of you feel like you could get 90% of it?
99%.
Okay, well that's pretty good because this is really the first time we've gone